Hello and welcome to the Anfield Boot Room. I think this might be the recording of the Anfield Boot Room where I am most tired. I've just been to a 2-day conference up in Stratford, and it took me like over 3 hours to get home. And of course, I play Football Manager on the way home, but I couldn't obviously go past this match, which is the European Champions League final against PSG, managed, of course, by Pep Guardiola. I'm excited. It is this has been our least successful season for quite some time, in fact. But to finish with another Champions League win, that would be really good. I think actually, if we look at the past winners, I'd love to get. Oh, excuse me. I thought I'd got rid of this cough. I'd love to get 3 Champions Leagues in a row. That would be great. I'm not really sure it's been done so much. Bayern and Real Madrid, yeah, when they were kind of basically state sponsored. Oh, and Ajax. Oh yeah, no, I feel like I remember that as a fact now. Anyway, well, I want to do 4 then. Sodgers. That complete blip where Marseille won it, absolute madness at the Stade de France as well. Oh, and this one was actually in Marseille. Oh, that's funny. Where's this one? Do we know? Where's it? The Olimpico? Is that? Yeah, I was going to say that's Roma's stadium, isn't it? Stadio Olimpico. Oh, brilliant. Oh, that should be a good one. Right. So if we just pop into the schedule, you'll see. So since there was actually some jeopardy about me getting through against Arsenal, and I won the second leg 6-0, which was great. We then went on to Divock Origi carried on his obscene form, and we beat Southampton. I didn't mean to click that. I meant to click. Oh, it's all gone now. Right, I didn't mean to click on Origi. He is having a ridiculous season, as he always has. So he's got 16 on finishing. It doesn't make sense that he scores this many goals, but he does. 70 goals in 99 appearances for Belgium. Tells you all we need to know, really. The reserves did well against Reading. They actually battered them. And then I took any kind of suspense or jeopardy out of the semi-final by smashing Bayern 5-0 away, which was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why that happened. They had some chances, but we were clinical. We had 5 clear-cut chances and none off the woodwork. So we just scored a lot. Scored all the good chances we had, essentially. So yeah, there was no point really showing any of that because, it's pretty much going through unless they won 6-0 at Anfield, which, I mean, well, stranger things have happened technically, but I think that would be up there. We won the second leg 3-0, so that's a nice 8-0 win overall in a Champions League semi-final. We polished off the end of the season. I was thinking, had I had ideal scenario, I would have made it a double header with the last game of the Premier League season. Obviously nothing to play for, but interesting nonetheless. And what a whopping game it turned out to be. I mean 4-3, as you can see there. I think it might be funny to see the goals. If we can see the goals, that will be, because they scored. You'll see that in minute 1 they scored after about 17 seconds, with just the most disgraceful bit of anything ever. He just walks and hits it down the middle. Just walks past everyone and then hits it down the middle. And that was after like 17 seconds. And then this mug, he's not even good. He scores that, and that's literally that was the first 2 highlights. Then we didn't manage to make anything happen for a long time, for half an hour, and then I think we got this, yes, just about. Oh yeah, Esparza missed a sitter there, and I was like, this is not going to be another one of those, is it? But I'm not. I can't. This goal's probably for them now. So at this stage it's 2-1. Oh no, I think we do get it back to 2-2. So Tolnik messing about with it. Well, I don't know. This is a long old goal highlight. I might actually use it as an excuse to have a little cough. What a ball by Teletexter, and Esparza scores another. Great stuff. Then second half, they get a penalty that wasn't a penalty to go 3-2 up. And then I, of course, I'm like, for Christ's sake, I'm bringing on good players now, so let's not mess about anymore. They get caught out, and Esparza gets his hat-trick. Lovely old stuff. And that's 3-3. And because that was his 20th of the season, he got like something like $1 million for that because of a goal bonus. Winning it nice and high up. Hoyos, very dynamic with the ball. Pings it back to Vitaly and Adolfo, and Esparza scores another one because he's an absolute god. So yeah, that was that match. Absolutely obscene from Ricardo Esparza. Has reassured me somewhat as to his goal-scoring prowess as well, because he seems hugely mixed, but now he's got 21 and 24 starts, which you can't really argue with. So that's pretty good. I think I do want to just have a little look at things end of season, but in order to truly end the season, we've got to play this game. So let's do that. I can't remember if I set up my squad or not. Something about the excuse me, the PSG predicted team. Obviously they've got Tony Snabry up front, who's amazing, but they've got a bit of a shortage at centre back, and I don't know. I hope this predicted team is right actually, because they've got Vallejo there, who is a great centre back, and they're playing him centre defensive midfield, and actually the vulnerable bit is at the back. So I'd quite like that to face that side, even though they've got Sanabria, Isco, and Suarez pulling the strings, and a very solid centre of midfield. But we'll just have to see. I have sorted out my team, so it is a lot of familiar names. Strong Pete has really come on to the extent that he's now better than Dirty Sanchez. So you've got Strong Pete, George Alagoa, and Emperor Nero as a back three. That's quite funny. But yeah, they are good guys. They are top guys. So let us play the game. Yeah, and so the reason that they have this deficiency at centre back is because Marquinhos is out, Alex is out, which is great news, and so is Thomas Skoda, and so they're two of the players that I've sold PSG in the past. So happy days for that. We are joint top scorers with ourselves for the goals. Right. So Sedimir Ilic says there's not much difference. Had to pick a winner, plump for Liverpool, and we are favourites, but I don't really understand odds. So that's like you have to pay 2 to get 1, and that's you have to pay. I don't know. Okay, so Wesley's on a fairly lengthy run. Yeah, he's not going to get beaten. He's an absolute legend. You've just literally, these questions don't make sense. You've just told me how good my goalkeeper is, and then you said this goalkeeper, who's actually my youngest goalkeeper. Yeah, it's just stupid, isn't it? Right, let's. How long are you stopping me in the bloody tunnel for? Right. We've been extra prepared, you bum. You bum. Oh, God, why did I say that? Okay, so they have put Vallejo at centre back. I am disappointed. And that is a good midfield. Ricardo Rodriguez, I'm not sure about on the left wing, but he can bomb a good cross in, so I'm not convinced he's unbelievable. But right, here we go. Benali's unbelievable. He's actually very, very good. Carbonell, I remember being pretty good, so let's just close him down. You've got Mighty Mouse there, who's very good, as is Suarez, as is Isco. Gahart is good as well. Well, it is PSG. They are no mugs. Ricardo Rodriguez, I almost think like he can. I don't need to bat at him. He can stay on the pitch because actually, he's comparatively to the wingers they could have. He's fat and slow. So Carlos Baiano obviously would need to be absolutely battered if he actually got on, as would Kovacic, who's rather good. I'm not familiar with these guys because they're bad. Sergio Barry isn't much good either. I sold them ages ago. I sold him ages ago. Right, that's looking at a good setup. Right, we want to win this. I'll expect you to come back here with that trophy. Yes. See, in these sorts of occasions, I would genuinely want to really get them going and do it for the fans sort of thing. But they never respond to that. I think they just don't care about the fans. I don't get it. But yeah, no, I've picked these guys out. They're all in perfect condition. They've all had basically a great. They're on great form, and over the season they've been great as well. So actually, nearly all of them are on better. Oh, apart from Pogba. Pogba's spoiling it. They're ending the season on high form, basically. Pogba's spoiling it because he's an idiot, but he is key to our ambitions. So, Egypt, key to our ambitions. Fine. Right, we've not conceded after 17 seconds, which is an improvement on the Stoke game. Although it's been 23 minutes and nothing has happened. Half an hour and nothing. Please, not another final like this. I can't cope. Arilaga. Oh, was that off the butt? It was off. Oh, it was a clear-cut chance. Vladimiros has got injured in another final. I don't understand that guy. Oh, they've hit the bar. Ooh. So we've had a clear-cut chance. They've hit the bar. Vladimiros has got injured in another key game. Suarez has handled it. Yeah, what a surprise that is. Vladimiros is staying on till half-time. I don't care. Last time this happened, actually, he then scored a minute later. I'm not really liking this because we've not had a chance to... usually by this point, we've established at least some kind of dominance, whereas we really haven't. Please tell me that wasn't a shot. Oh, I hope there was a deflection. Christ. But yeah, there's been basically nothing. Oh, a drab match so far. Well, I'm going to give him an absolute rocket. I'll take Vladimiros off, put on Ali Samir. All right, on reflection, I should have given him the rocket as well, because now, all right, I'll give him an individual team talk. Assertive, have the ability, go out and do it. Yeah, good lad. Right, anybody else doing crap? Memphis is doing crap. Might be too early to do 2 subs. I'll wait till 60 to see about Emiliano Heskey. Oh, excellent. Tony Sanabri's been injured, but they're just going to bring on Carlos Baiano, who is at least an equal in that sort of world-class striker stakes. Although, we are more familiar with Baiano, so that's good. Samir is a good player. Can this be one of his days? Whip that cross in. Divock Origi. Yes, please. The second shot on target of the whole entire game. Liverpool playing like real contenders. It's the final. How can you say Liverpool playing like real contenders? You absolute idiot. Great ball by One-Ton Gill. Great cross by Milton. Beautiful stuff from Origi. Club legend. The fans will be chanting his name. Right, if we can sustain a bit of pressure from this, that'd be good. Oh, strong Pete. He's got the 3rd shot on target of the game. Oh, dear me. So it's been a crap game, but we've been clinical, basically. And it's all from the left as well. Was that a deflected cross? But he tucks it away anyway, justifying his selection again. What a good lad. Oh my God, he scored a brace in off the bar as well. Oh, that is an outrage. That is an absolute outrage. Strong Pete scored a brace in the Sudding Champions League final. Right. Oh dear. Has everyone's stats cheered up now? Probably. I'm guessing because, well, Strong Pete's have especially, but Right. I might in a little bit take one Arilaga off because he's not playing so well. Yes. Okay. I'm going to do that. Although he's getting better, but let's do it anyway because although he is our captain, does he still get to raise the trophy? Oh, mixed feelings now. Oh, bring Tall Nick on. Bring Tall Nick on. He's been good. He's warranted a place. He's warranted involvement. I mean, we're now 3-0 up, so it doesn't so much matter. Memphis is a bit tired, so let's bring on Emiliano Heskey. Oh, that'll be the last sub. Okay. I don't want someone to get sent off though. Let's just leave that for a bit. Classic trying to be decisive, but then ends up being conservative with a small C. Sam. Oh, Milton with a great chance there to make it 4. Oh, well, they've not had a shot on target. It's been that is drab from them. Christ. Pogba's now the most knackeredest, so Hoyos can come on. Don't mind that One-Ton Gill's got a yellow card. That's fine. So hang on. Pogba. Oh, so we've had 3 different captains. I still hope Arrillaga gets to lift the trophy because that'd be silly otherwise. One-Ton Gill lifting the bloody Champions League. Oh, can they hit us on the break? No. Sorry if as I said, this is me at my most depleted, so I apologise for the bit of a lo-fi, low-key drama. We're doing this build-up quite nicely though. Let's have some of that. Oh, Origi. I thought that was an own goal then, but Tall Nick getting in on the action. Yes, please. It was a great bit of build-up, and then they just kind of what? Oh right, it was a great tackle, but then no follow-up, and then Tall Nick just tucks it in the bottom corner. Brilliant stuff. Wow, man, this game has been super quick as well because absolutely bugger all happened in the first half. Oh dear, strong Pete. Scoring 2, still defending resolutely. What a hero. And their quality has not shown. This is not a weak side from them. They're missing a few, but not, not many. This is a very expensive side, one of the world's best. And we're doing them 4-0. I mean, Tall Nick, not going to happen, mate, is it? They've still not had a shot on target, which is absolutely stunning. See if we can work something else in the last few minutes. George Alagaya on a yellow, still crunching tackles. He's an absolute hero. Carlos Baiano, bless him, he can't get anywhere near the goal. If I were Ali Smith, I would just try to ping one from range. Tall Nick flicks it on to scuff it. And we've won the Champions League. Yeah. So 2 goals from Strong Pete, 2 assists from Memphis, 1 from Milton, a goal from Origi as is standard, and Tall Nick came on to score. Superb stuff. I was going to take Memphis off. I'm glad I didn't because he wasn't playing very well at half time, but the aggressive rocket really did its job. Well done. Congratulations. I'm very happy. And if anyone didn't believe me, I'm now going to say I was very happy in a passionate way. And it was about the win, because it was about the win. Right, everyone's happy. You bet your life we are. We're absolutely pumped in the dressing room. Everyone's putting champagne everywhere. They didn't even have a shot on target. We scored most of our chances. What were the stats like? So we had 3 clear-cut chances and 1 off the woodwork. Managed to score 4. I had 0 shots on target, 0 clear-cut chances. Absolute disgrace. They have more possession. We don't even need possession. That is insane. Right. I don't usually go to Dave Dodds' thoughts because they're not usually that important. And our focus on attacking set pieces really paid off because Strong Pete scored. Well, yeah. Right, fine. Well, that was about it really. That's brilliant. I can see the transfer window opens in a couple of days. Oh yes, I don't know if you see that. I can't remember quite, but I just unlocked an achievement, and the achievement is called the Greatest, and that is I've become the greatest manager of all time. How pleasant. Right, okay, wicked. I'm the greatest manager of all time. I have to admit, I didn't see that coming. But okay, I accept. So, a mild spring evening at Olympico. Yes, good. 1 hour log, live the dream, money support, and he lifted the cup. I'm glad he got to lift the cup. I don't know how he hasn't got more Spain caps. He's scored on nearly every occasion he's played for Spain. He's a Liverpool club legend, as is Divock Origi, who is he actually a legendary striker? He's a legendary striker. Oh, think back to when Divock Origi could have been a legendary striker. Although I did see an article the other day saying he was one of the fastest players in the Premier League this season, and the fastest was Timothy Fosu-Mensah somehow, and then the people you'd expect like Leroy Sané and that sort of thing. Tall Nick, And actually, a goalkeeper was in the top 10, and everyone was, I think it was Sergio Rico. Anyway, let's not reflect too strongly on that. Tall Nick, age of 26. He's a towering striker, professional towering striker. What a legend he is. He scored as well. And Strong Pete, of course. Strong Pete, by the way, I was reflecting that because I'm a very reflective, thoughtful sort of bloke. He used to be slow. And now he's one of our quickest centre backs. And outstripping the likes of Dirty Sanchez, who is admittedly just coming back from injury. But yeah, he's only paid £75 a week. He's only 22. £75, 75 grand. I'd say that's good value for money, to be honest. But yeah, absolutely sensational. So we've done an incredible quintuple. I would argue that is actually a sextuple because we've won the league as well. I don't know why the game quantifies, because so in real life we're talking about Man City's treble and not including the Community Shield. In this, they include the Community Shield, but not the league. It's very strange. It's like a cup quintuple, league and cup sextuple. Yeah, there we go. Vladimirov's getting injured in a big match again. Annoying. Doesn't matter because we won the Champions League. Yes. Not going to look at match confidence, but I am going to do this. Right. Congratulations. Was that good? Was good. You've managed to win. How does it feel? I'm pleased. Seem to take success with you wherever you go. Some are now calling you one of the game's greatest the game's greatest ever managers. No, they're not. They're calling me the greatest manager of all time, and they're not calling me it. It's statistically true. So let's just put a little lid on that, Paul Morrell. Do you think that accolade is deserved? I don't want to say what can I say on the special one after having just said what I genuinely said in real life. I'm just going to say, yeah, I'm just proud man. Many think maybe it's the right time to try your hand as well. No. Did you see what happened in the FA Cup? It's an absolute disgrace. So yeah, no, I do still want to carry on winning everything because otherwise you're not winning everything, and that means someone else is winning something, and I'm not sure I'm happy with that. So I'm not sure I'm allowing it. I love the Champions League. You seem to have a real affinity with the Champions League. Come on. It's like the best competition ever, and everyone knows it. It's not like saying you've got an affiliation with the League Cup. Although, we do that as well, to be fair. Excuse me, I will take a sip because, this press conference is going on quite a long time. Liverpool fans will be celebrating tonight. How do you feel? Feel good. We won. What do you think? Think it was good? These questions, come on. Got a trophy. Captain, happy? Everyone happy? One of the big favourites. Sod off. Not at all. We have a good team here, but we took nothing for granted. Yeah, shove that up, you jacksy. I've been paid 400 grand for winning the Champions League because I like to put those sorts of insist that those sort of things are in my contract so I can boost my career earnings because that makes me chuckle. And it doesn't matter a jot to bloody Liverpool because I've made them literally billions. We've been given just under 8 million, which is ridiculous. Sam Hammager has today reached the pinnacle of any football manager's career, having demonstrated himself to be the most successful manager of all time. Bear in mind, I've never done this before. That's really funny. Hammager's fantastic record has not just endeared him to his own Liverpool team, but also ensured that he would be immortalised as the greatest football manager of all time. Brilliant. So, View Hall of Fame, Fergie, shove it. So he's got way more leagues than me, but I've got 8 leagues, 15 domestic cups, 10 other cups, and 0 international trophies. That's maybe the last frontier because I got bored of being. I was France manager for a bit. I got bored. That's fair. Also, I think we lost in a semi-final. But yeah, Fergie with all his Aberdeen stuff. So in Europe, he got a Euro Super Cup, and a Cup Winners' Cup. Is Cup Winners' Cup Europe? I think it is. One Club World Championship, one Intercontinental Cup, 2 Champions League, 1 Euro Super Cup, and that sort of thing. I have, what's my record? So 4 Champions Leagues, 8 Premier Leagues, 6 Community Shields, 6 FA Cups, 9 League Cups, 3 Club World Championships, 3 Euro Super Cups. Yes, please. And it all fits on one page. It's really nice. The only thing that we've won more than the league is the bloody League Cup. Yes, please. How was Luis Enrique 5th, 7th? Because with 5 domestic, didn't win any domestic cups. So anyway, it's me, Fergie, Ancelotti, who's still in the game, manager of Ajax somehow. Although I think he wanted to put himself up for a different job the other day, and that was a genuine bone of contention. I think it was argued that if he didn't get I think it was something like Atletico, didn't get the Atletico job, that Ajax were going to fire him. Diego Simeone is manager of Bayern, who I smashed in the semis. Pep Guardiola, manager of PSG, who I smashed anyway. Trapattoni. Enrique, is he actually still managing? Oh, he's managing Spain. Has he won any international trophies? No. Shows you how good a manager he is. Mourinho got sacked by Derby. What a joke. Louis van Gaal has retired. Good lad, Louis. And he just work in Romania or something insane. Oh, like Turkey as well. Yeah, so it's real kind of. Oh, Ukraine. Strange. Then we look at the guys who inspired this whole thing with the Anfield Boot Room. We've got Bob Paisley, who's a good bloke. There'll hopefully also be no, where's the other guy? Oh, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Bill Shankers isn't on there, but he is on other such lists. So like the English manager list, for instance. Oh, he was the one that. No, is he the one that's Scottish? Oh, Christ, it doesn't matter. You're talking out of your arse, Sam. You're tired. Just stop it. Okay, excellent. Let's just carry on reading the news, shall we? Liverpool win again for fans. Actually, yeah, that would be good. I'm not sure. I like when Ben checks this, and to check if he's any more or less of a club legend. See, I'm now at the bottom of the list of club legends. Does that mean other people are dropping off? I'm sure it used to be longer. Are there other people that have dropped down? I don't think so. Bottom is. I'm sure there used to be other people. I'll have to check previous videos. Maybe they're streamlining the legends. I'm sure there were more. Can't think of who they were, but I'm sure there were more. But yeah, surely that pushes. I would thought that pushes me up. But what I was actually going to say was, I'm not sure it's always reflected immediately. So I found that, for instance, I wasn't on the list straight after I won a league, and then actually at the start of the next season I had made it to the list. So I'm not sure if there's a bit of lag, in fact. Anyway, the board are actually happy, which makes a change. They've gone up to a whole 75%. Wow, that is high. Gerard declares a proud day, and I've just seen Wesley reveals Hamburger Fury. So I gave him the hairdryer at half time when they won 4-0. Yes, please. Strong Pete on imperious form. What, 100% of tackles and 2 goals. He's a madman. He's an absolute madman. And we're giving nearly 20 mil, so that's nice. Andre Luis got top assists, which is weird because he didn't even play near the final or in the semi. And top goal scorer was Tall Nick. Right, okay, well that's brilliant. Very happy about that. So if, as usual, we go onto the competitions tab, you'll see obviously Liverpool. We had a decent season. I think it's like something like our most goals conceded by miles or something stupid like that compared to previous. Oh, I was checking it, and then we conceded. Oh wow! I've never been to this season preview. Oh, I've never been to this page before. I'm so confused. Oh, there's lots going on it, and I'm not sure I like it. That's what I meant to go to. Right. So is it? I know we conceded 26 last year, but we scored more. So our goal difference of 96 just about holds up. If I just had my eyes on goal difference there, by the way, guys, for reference. The points total of we got 102, which is there or thereabouts basically, and it's just those losses, the 2-1 and 2-1, which is uncharacteristic, I would say. But only one when we were playing a strong team, and it was a statistical anomaly, I would argue. But right, what might be fun if we just quickly cycle through some, although some of them have been sacked, which is a shame, like the likes of Mourinho. I was going to say cycle through some Premier League teams and their managers, because it is getting funny now. So Lopetegui is at Man City. Allegri won the FA Cup, so is liked now at Man United. Jamie Day, who is a Welling legend, by the way, like in kind of vaguely in real life. I'm not sure if it's actually reflected even in in the game. It might be reflected in the game. Let's hope it is. No, he's a Welling icon alongside Steve Finnan, and the likes of no one anyone's ever heard of. Anthony Riviere wasn't he? Didn't he play for Newcastle? Surely not. Anyway, but yeah, so he's manager of Millwall now, having no, where's his achievements? There we go. So at the actual start of the game was Ebbsfleet player manager, having been Welling player manager, and then has kind of progressed through. Finally has landed the Millwall job. What a weird thing. Yeah, so he's there. Got Laurent Blanc at Newcastle, but he's angling for a move to Stoke for some reason. Don Cowie at QPR, at Nottingham Forest rather. Geraint Williams at QPR, which is a very strange one, because I looked at his achievements and there's like a big old gap. So he was Wales under-21 manager, and he's still Wales under-21 manager. And then he just became manager of Leicester suddenly, like after 8 years of not having any other job, and now he's QPR manager. So there we go. Very strange. This if you can hear the buzzing, it might be one of yous. Right, Reading is managed by Steve Burr, who I think is in real life is just a coach. Brendan Rodgers is over at Southampton. Antonio Conte just got appointed by Stoke, which is so funny because they snubbed Laurent Blanc for Antonio Conte, who himself was just fired by Dortmund, which just makes me chuckle. Steve Davis is in at Sunderland. I don't know actually who he is really, to be honest. I can't recall. He's been around the block. Yeah, fine. Sunderland, and we got Hamza Hamzamoglu at Tottenham. Their captain now is Cololungo, that big old long neck. Check out that, Christ. Steve Clark at West Ham. That actually, is reasonable and makes sense. Valverde at Arsenal. Antoine, I'm sure he was France manager for a bit as well, but he has led Burnley. Last season they finished 7th, so they've survived. But how he hasn't got sacked, I don't know. Cardiff got Kelvin Davis, who came last in the Premier League and hasn't been fired yet, and he has literally put himself forward for every single job this summer. What a disgrace. Carragher's obviously Chelsea manager. Derby just fired Mourinho, which is very funny. Shevchenko is now my new rival as Everton manager, which I find very funny, and also is a nice guy. Fulham, Moneybags Fulham, are they've been doing pretty well. They're kind of that upper middle of the table side. Obviously, Didier Deschamps as a a manager of reasonable prowess, and captain and vice captain formerly of this parish, John Flanagan and Lorenzo Ayala. And then we're back to Liverpool. So that was a bit of your manager's run around. Obviously, there's goings on with relegations and promotions. So I'll just show you that as a bit of a kind of season overview sort of thing. So going down was QPR, Southampton, and Cardiff. Burnley surviving on goal difference, and kind of up to about, you might argue, up to about West Ham, up to about 12th, if they were there or thereabouts. Nottingham Forest somehow getting the results to not be down there, but I wouldn't say that Nottingham Forest are particularly safe, because I'm pretty sure their playing staff are poor. So Stoke, I think they're all right. They've just been poorly managed, and upwards of that, I would say from 10th upwards. But yeah, anyone could get relegated. People coming up, I'm super annoyed about that, actually. Yeah, Sheffield United, despite the fact I thought, oh well, they're in the playoffs, but they're never going to get promoted, so they'll sever their links with me now as a feeder club. But they got 18 points less than Wigan, and was it them they beat in the final? Oh no, I bugged out now. Playoff final. Yes, so Wigan have got to be absolutely gutted with that, absolutely appalling, and Wigan had, well, it was mixed, but yeah, absolutely shocking. So yeah, I'll need to find a new feeder club. Speaking of probably finding new feeder clubs, well, yeah, no, I'll look at this first. So Brighton and Watford just about surviving. I can't remember which one of them was absolutely rock bottom and had a great end to the season. But yeah, some of them were even poorer than the poorness you see here. So going down into League One, Peterborough have won the playoff. Good stuff there. Norwich managed to get top scorer, but they were bad. Oh, so Norwich and Leicester, my two feeder clubs, doing absolutely appallingly. Leicester were due to be pretty good, and they both just got relegated. I mean, even Charlton finished higher than Leicester. So you got Plymouth won the league somehow, Portsmouth came second, and yeah, Peterborough pipped Northampton and Luton. That's there we go. But yeah, some big hitters down here. So Norwich, West Brom, Leicester, Charlton, obviously a big hitter. Swindon, bottom of the league, unfortunately. Sorry, mate. But anyway, so my thoughts to feeder clubs. I'm going to get rid of Sheffield United. I'm going to get rid of Norwich. I'm going to keep Leicester because I actually want to get them promoted, and then try and get two Championship clubs. So that I'm hoping that I will be able to do that properly, because I do like a good feeder club. But yeah, McDonald's, who beat me was it them who beat me? MK Dons? Yeah, it was, not FC Wimbledon. But yeah, McDonald's who beat me in the FA Cup, stunt. That's just ridiculous. So going down to League Two, AFC Wimbledon lost in the playoff. Yeovil got promoted. Exeter, Chesterfield, Hartlepool. Any more kind of friends or crew that we like down here? Cambridge and Oldham went down, getting properly down the league now. And I won't even go through the managers, but the managers will be very funny. Altrincham. I'm looking for Welling. So Welling, okay, they're in the conference. They're not doing too bad. Dagenham and Redbridge down in the conference as well. Oh, I'd quite like to take over Dagenham and Redbridge. Oh, maybe that's something. Oh, I think I'd quite like that. I don't know if I have. Oh yeah, I don't have the North and South properly. But FC United are coming up. That's Solihull Moors, which is nice. Cambridge. Cambridge City, weird. And then Bournemouth, Dover, Maidstone are there. Maidstone, who I've formerly boosted to Premier League heights. I'm also got half an eye out for Bromley, but Lewis are there. They are not coming up, unfortunately. Got half an eye out for Bromley, but can't see them anywhere, so I presume they're not doing well. But yeah, so that's a bit of a look up and down that I don't usually do. I usually stick to my top end world class sort of things. Speaking of which, I did find a fun page to look at. I can't remember what it was now. Team report. So obviously they give you just like panel after panel of stats. So I only use one formation, so that formations is pretty much done. We work our way into games and then score a goal. Often a pass on the left wing. I'm looking at you, Milton. Good stuff, lad. Goals conceded after half time surprises me because I suppose that is when you might say that I make my silly changes and put loads of youth on. But usually I've been able to encourage them sufficiently or tell them not to do something bad. Most common assist area was the penalty area, probably because most of the goals I conceded. Actually, most of the goals I conceded might be from penalties. There was a lot of that. Yeah, so best attribute strength, worst attribute work rate. I think we're ranked third for work rate, so I think we'll be fine. But yeah, all good stuff here. The one that I really like, in fact, isn't this one, although that is fun. So, like, for instance, Strong Pete is my most clinical player, and literally 1 ton Gill, who I've been saying shoots and is useless. The stats bear that out because he hasn't scored a single fucking goal this season. What an absolute bell. Emiliano Heskey because he tends to pass rather than scoring. Minutes since last goal, stupid, pointless stat. But yeah, Miguel Lopez is my best passer. My worst passer, George Alagai, because he plays the limited defender slot, so he just thwacks it a lot of the time. My best tackler, statistically, with 25 out of 26, Ken Clark. Worst, Divock Origi, not a surprise. Just stick to scoring the goals, mate. Sewell is an absolute beast in the air, which is fair. Yeah, I'm not sure they should keep stats where it's like basically statistically irrelevant with like 3 out of 6 crosses for Dirty Sanchez. I'm not really sure that's fair. But yeah, I don't have many discipline problems. 1 ton Gill is probably the player that you would expect because it, kind of he goes in for crunchers. Wesley managed not to foul anyone basically all season. Pasquier fouled 4 people in 1 game. 1 ton Gill, even though he gets a lot of cards, comparatively doesn't make a lot of mistakes. So, actually, to be fair, so he makes a lot of mistakes, but they don't lead to goals. So riddle me that one. And Vachka, who I'm hoping is the future. So if you compare him, I said that Strong Pete used to be slow. I'm hoping that Vachka is the future Strong Pete if I can build out that pace. There you go, planning. So Turkish Bay, best clean sheets, worst is Jorn Deckers. Don't know what to do about my goalies. Might have to sell one of them, but I do quite like the setup. Again, this is not what I properly actually want to show you, but it's still interesting. The youngest player in the whole division is my player. My oldest player is 32. He's going to be heading off. I have the youngest average age in the whole league. And yeah, these are all just kind of, you can take from them what you please. I have 25 crown internationals, which is the most. Haha. Average caps, I have more than normal. Average wage is also more than normal. I think that's fair. I'm nearly the longest serving manager. Paul Simpson at Derby. But Derby don't have a manager. What, is that the longest ever? Well, no, it isn't. Oh, is that because he's caretaker manager? Oh. Well, look, I'm being robbed of that then, if he's just caretaker manager. Anyway, get over it. What I actually wanted to look at was this thing. Right, so I've got the youngest average age by miles. Chelsea are so old, which again is something that I've said, and I like that it's being borne out. I have the joint highest average height. The weight doesn't really matter to me. Lots of caps, lots of youth caps. Relatively up there. I like that I've got a high number of average youth caps up there with City, despite the fact I have the youngest average age. You'd think those two would not work well together, but City, you can pay loads of money and you can have all your internationals, but I've got all the young ones. Best player value is of course us. And unlucky Fulham with loads of players unavailable. I'm not quite sure how they've come out with that. So literally, this is like my dream. You can imagine. I'm sure you guys are groaning now. But yeah, it's so funny to see. So we're 10th for decisions, but actually statistically 14.2 isn't that far off 15. So I'm not too upset with that. Like first touch passing is really good. Strength is really good, which is not something that I focus on. So it's kind of incidental. Work rate's really good. Teamwork, not so great. Leadership, even worse. And that is true. We don't have many big old leaders, which is why we kind of... There's not an automatic club captain, to be honest. Although all the automatic club captains I have sold, so maybe there's a lesson there. Aggression, don't need it. We've always got the ball. Goalkeepers is where we statistically really shine because we've got 2 world-class goalkeepers and 1 excellent young goalkeeper. So, you know, they may not be the most aerial, but we're first in a lot of those, which is insane. Defense, we don't actually... Tackling, heading, and pace. I do like a pacey centre-back. But obviously ours is oddly skewed because... Well, you would have thought ours would be oddly skewed because we don't have fullbacks. But I'd think that like heading and jumping... It's weird that we've got low jumping but high heading. Wow, the jumping reach average of Nottingham Forest is 6. That is... Come on, what is that? But yeah, a mixed bag for defence. Midfield is essentially the same. Got a very low on vision. But the structure of the midfield, it's such that, you know, some of them don't need vision. And some of them do. Very high on tackling. Very high on technique, which is, again, not something I really look for. But it seems like work rate and teamwork, we don't really particularly exceed at. But it's the structure of the team that has all the right people doing the right things in the right positions that just about gets it there. Also, I've not really been following who is actually doing better than us. So Man United have quite a good defence. Arsenal also mentioned in there, just for being pacey. With the midfield, it's Man City. They do have a great midfield. They have bought a lot of my midfielders. That's probably why. Attack is where we come back into the fore with pace, acceleration, and movement. Absolutely unbeaten, which is excellent. And then anticipation, jumping, reach, heading, long shots, finishing, all very, very good. So obviously, I saw that. I thought I'll wait till the end of the season and then I'll have a little look and see what I can see. Obviously, Arsenal, very impressive finishing there, and they are a great team, but they came 4th. Bloody 4th! It's ridiculous. And they've only got 3 strikers, so that's why their average is really good for finishing. And they're anyway. Look, let's just have a little passing look over the squad. I know this isn't super action intensive potentially, but I do like to do it, and you know, I'm forcing you to share it with me now. So tough, we're friends. So Wesley was obviously my tough game guy, and he came out on top overall, really. But Turkish Bay getting some good experience. Strong Pete's emergence here. He was great, as was Emperor Nero, which is good. Alagai, you can always rely on him. Those are the top performers, really. Adair slipping down. Yeah, a few of these people have slipped down and will be sold, for instance. So Adair is very, very good. He is very, very good, but now he's an experienced centre-back. And we don't really do experience in this team. We more have youth and exuberance on our side. One Ton Gill, absolutely filthy stats. Basically, the last 5 games he played an 8.3 average, which is filth. I like a lot of what Pogba does, even if he is worse rated technically. I feel like we do need him or a player like him in there to play playmaking role. Hoyos is the natural successor, even though he does have low vision, as was pointed out in our overall stats. But he seems to kind of make up for it with being very dynamic physically and with good dribbling and good first touch and stuff like that. So he's not the best at picking the pass, but we have other players that can do that, so it's not terrible. In terms of attacking midfielders, obviously it's slightly clouded with the strikers who are flexible, but the top guys are Memphis. I mean, Memphis is, he's our top attacking midfielder, really. He's 31. He's great. Legendary winger. And I don't think he'll be going anywhere, certainly for the next season, because he's still got a great amount of natural fitness, a great amount of pace. So we're happy with him still. Andre Luiz popping up there. Didn't think that would happen. Not sure quite how he compares to Memphis. Different. They're, a bit deficient here, but very technical and very quick. Andre Luiz. So, he's certainly one who does perform. Milton's been great this season. Vladimiros has really actually had probably one of his best seasons because he's always a bit patchy. No, last season was pretty good as well. Fair play. But yeah, he should always be excellent, but then he always gets injured. Emiliano Heskey's been brilliant. He's now sort of like odd job, so he can play up front, he can play right wing. I'm getting him to play left wing. He can't play attacking midfield, but that is okay. But I kind of love him. He's great. Is he still unhappy? Yeah, he won't sign a new contract, but I've still got him for 3 years, so I'm not worried. I can make him happy and make him sign a new one in time. But he's got a lot of goals this season, which is great. And then where the true source of goals has been my streamlined attack, which is number 1, Arrillaga, number 2, Origi, number 3, Tall Nick, who was lagging in stats but then made up for it. Esparza was as well, but yeah, nearly everyone scoring more goals than games they started. Obviously, kind of Heskey's supporting role. Jaja was injured for a fair amount, but he didn't do that well. In fact, actually, I think he did better last season, to be honest. So he was involved in 18 games, 1 start and 17 sub appearances, scored 8 goals. Whereas this season, 2 starts, 11 sub appearances, 1 goal. So it's not as good. And Marolda's kind of been there, but look, he's got 1 year left on his contract. He's a great player, but he's not. He doesn't compare to these guys. That's the thing. Well, he does, but they're a bit better, just a bit. And each and every single one of them is a bit better in a different way. So like Arrillaga's quicker and as good. Tall Nick. Actually, how does him and Tall Nick compare? Because that's so he's actually better at finishing technically than Tall Nick, who is a clinical striker. Oh no, at the minute he's a towering striker. Okay, he must have done something to his stats. But then you see he's much more creative. He's much better at getting the ball back. He's much better in the air. He's much better technically. So, so we'll see how that goes and what the future holds. I will again seek to streamline my squad. I'm sure I have some interesting lads coming in, but as you saw with, where do I see it? I think it's my calendar. As you see, there's 11 transfers coming in, and they're the start of the transfer window, and that's when I'll seek to flog loads of people off, get them all back, flood in back from their loans, and start to make the next billion. But yeah, next season it has to be about winning everything. It has to, and winning all the games and not losing as well. So it's that consistency that I've been craving for years has to be realised. So we've won the Premier League at a canter. Again, no one's even pushing us. Club World Championship, again, I feel more confident about that than ever because we even played a lesser team this time and still won it. Although it's attitudes like that lose you the FA Cup, for instance. We've won the Champions League thanks to a great second half performance. Won the Super Cup at the start of the season. We won the FA Cup. We got the Capital One Cup. and we've got the Community Shield. You've been with us every step of the way. And I think that's it from this season, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. I'm excited for next season. I keep signing youth players like it's going out of fashion. And I think that is ultimately what really sustains this, because it's almost like a waste. If you've signed a brilliant 15-year-old, it's kind of like a waste not to see that through. But then at some point, I'm going to have to let go. But I want it to be a whole season unbeaten in every competition. That's what I want. I think I can make that happen. I think I have the crushingly world-class players to force that out. And that's what I'd like to do. So, with that in mind, take that into your daily lives. Crush the weak. Crush the weak. Persist the strong. No, don't actually do that in your day-to-day lives. That's probably not the message that we want to be sending out. Did I mention I was tired? Oh dear. I should have written something to conclude this, because I feel like it needs a proper conclusion. We've won the Champions League. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. I didn't really doubt that we would win it, but it was 0-0 at half time and the game was dire. I hope I push further up the Legends list. I hope we get a new Anfield. I hope all of these sorts of things. And my hopes and dreams will be reflected in these YouTube videos. So there you are. Okay. Goodbye, good night. I'm now going to sleep for 14 hours and then get on a flight to France. What joy. Bye.